Hey cousins, welcome to Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas.
Welcome, cousins, to this episode of Brown Liquor and Bad Ideas. I'm your host, Cornell Wright, the People's Lobbyist. Cousins, today we're going to talk about fascism. We're just going to touch on the subject. There's been books written on this subject. There's people who have PhDs on this subject. You can find any information you want on the topic, but I'm just going to skim along it to give you some ideas about it so you can be a little more aware, kind of a self-help. Okay, cousins? So, if we look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it says the definition of fascism is a political theory advocating an authoritarian hierarchical government opposed to democracy and liberalism, which says that we're the United States of America, we have democracy here, and fascism is over there somewhere. All right? That's not where we are. It goes on to say an authoritarian system of government under absolute control of a single dictator, allowing no political opposition, forcibly suppressing dissent, and rigidly controlling most industrial and economic activities. Such regimes usually try to achieve popularity by a strong nationalist appeal, often mixed with racism. Now, cousins, does this apply to the United States of America? Let's say no, but not completely, right? Because, cousins, we've seen a number of people starting to show up and say that, hey, this might be a good idea for the United States of America. Cousins, that's a bad idea. That's a real bad idea. Aren't our cousins who are older, your fathers, your grandfathers, those who have served us, didn't they fight the Great War and weren't they the greatest generation because they defeated fascism? Yes. That war led to all sorts of atrocities and terrible things happening, right? Yes, it's called World War II. Cousins, we don't want that. We don't need that in the United States of America. We're a democracy. We want to have engagement by an enlightened electorate, which are you and me. We want people to know the issues, to be able to debate them, to be able to understand, to elect our officials who represent us to come up with the best decisions for the benefit of all of us. Remember the preamble of the Constitution? You go back and look at that, and the preamble of the Constitution and fascism have nothing in common. So, cousins, there was a comedian by the name of Jeff Foxworthy. He does a great line and bit about you might be a redneck. If you will allow me to riff on that just a tad. If you are following a leader who says that he or she has all the good ideas, you might need to check your fascist card. If you go to a rally and there are swastikas and people giving the Nazi salute, you might want to check your fascist card. And recognize that there's an organization called Antifa. Antifa stands for anti-fascism. So if you are in an organization that goes anti-Antifa, you might want to check your fascist card. Cousins, think about what that means. Those are people who are not interested in the democratic process. They want to subvert what we have long stood and long understood and believed as being the democratic process and the way a democracy works. Around the world, you can start to see that there's a movement and there's a swelling. People are starting to say that maybe this is a good idea. No, cousins, it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea. We have the good idea. It's called the preamble to the Constitution. The body of the Constitution needs additional work because, as we know, there's other things need to happen. The original body was not correct. Excuse me. We have the opportunity, and we have taken the opportunity over time to change it and make it better. It might still need some tweaking, but it's nowhere near a fascist doctrine. You with me, cousins? That is not where we are. That's not what we're supposed to do. So, cousins, as your people's lobbyists, be clear. I am not attempting to bring you any information and to support anything that's fascist. If I do, I want you to check me. All right? Because the fascist people were the ones who earlier this month attacked our capital. I'm sorry, cousins, that's a bad idea. And then people are trying to justify it, of which we all saw it. And so to that I say, you're going to believe me or your lying eyes. Because it's wrong, it's a bad idea. So here it is, cousins. I'm the people's lobbyist. I'm going to support you. And to all those cousins who are out there, I understand how it might go for some of you. I've been using a parallel. I've gone out and had one beer and it was okay and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden somebody buys me another beer. Well, I have another beer and everything's still good. All of a sudden things start happening pretty slowly, and next thing you know, I'm woken up and I'm not feeling very good at all and might be a little too tipsy to drive home. Moving into a fascist environment could happen like that. It may not be an intellectual process when you said, I want to go do that. It might have just been something kind of smooth, something kind of easy that, you know, it was my friend who did it. I understand that, cousins. But so here's what the offer is. We have this house in the United States of America called democracy. You are welcome back, but you got to get that fascism off your shoes before you come in. This is Cornell Wright saying the people's lobbyist. Thank you for joining me. You take care of yourselves. Keep wearing your mask. Let's get this thing right.
We are the people. We are the people.